Welcome to Mike's Organic Cafe. Today I'll be showing you how to make organic grape collagen protein filled donut. Make sure you consume after a hard workout or an after dinner dessert. The ingredients for the donut dough are 1 cup of goat kefir, 4 cups whole baker's flour, 7 grams of yeast, 3 eggs, 1 teaspoon sea salt, a quarter to half a cup monk fruit baking icing sugar sweetener, add more if desired, and half a cup of unsalted butter, room temperature, and coconut oil for frying. Start by cracking your 3 eggs into a mixing bowl. Then warm your goat kefir, add the yeast to it, and mix it with the eggs and sugar. Then with a hand whisk, mix until combined. Now we combine the salt with our 4 cups of flour, then onto our dough maker with the dough hook, then add the egg mixture to the flour. Then turn it on, low speed. Mine's low speed, I'm just fast forwarding the video for you. While it's combining, we gradually add the butter. Alright, here's the dough mixed. It is still sticky, which is the consistency you want. So now remove it and using a spatula, place it on a lightly floured surface. The dough is super soft, so gently massage it over the flour to get it all evenly coated. Add a bit more flour if you have to. Then place it in a mixing bowl. Then cover with a bit of cling wrap and set aside for 2 hours. Just set a timer to remind you and cover with a tea towel. Okay, here's our dough been resting for 2 hours. It didn't rise much, but that's because we're not using conventional ingredients like processed sugar. So now grab your baking tray lined with parchment paper with your molds. Now I'm gonna try using the largest mold to medium to small, just to see the difference it makes while we're cooking. If you don't have molds, tear off a handful of the dough and roll it together to get that jam donut shape. On a lightly floured surface again, place your dough, sprinkle both sides of the dough with flour, and then roll it out with a rolling pin gently. I suggest leaving them a little bit thick so you get the same size as the bakery jam donuts. But then that means more calories per donut. So adjust your calorie count for the day accordingly. Now grab your molds. We've got a large, medium, and small. Just cut out your dough. You could make ring donuts, cinnamon donuts, or glazed donuts. Now remove the leftover dough, being more careful than I was not to ruin the shape of the donuts, so we can re-roll it to make more donuts later. I tried to use my hands to pick them up. If you have a pancake flipper, the donuts are easier to handle. So get them all onto your tray. Mine are slightly misshapen, but that's okay, I'm not a pro chef. Then cover with another sheet of parchment paper and a tea towel and leave them to rest and rise for an hour. Now we'll use the remainder of our dough to make cinnamon donuts. Lightly flour your bench again. Then we have a silicone mold that'll do our donut shape with our stainless steel ring molds for the outer and inner rings. Add a bit more flour to your dough and then roll out your dough. Do it around an inch thick, I think. Then flour both sides. Then grab your outer ring mold and cut out our 6 cinnamon donuts for the silicone mold. Then grab the center mold and try to get it as central as possible to form the cinnamon donut. Then carefully remove the remaining dough. Then simply slot your cinnamon donuts into the silicone mold. Cover with parchment paper and a tea towel and leave them to rest with the jam donuts for an hour. I've already tried to make these before, that's why my coconut oil has yellow in it, but it can be reused. Just melt your coconut oil, have your plate with a paper towel ready to strain the donuts, the excess oil from the donuts. Now, since coconut oil has a low smoke point, you won't really tell that it's ready for the frying. Just get a bit of donut dough and throw it in, and it should start bubbling. We have our first jam donut. They should float to the surface of the coconut oil, and then once they cook on the bottom, you flip it, and then it'll cook on the other side. But the main thing is it cooks in the middle, so the dough won't turn out raw. Then add as many donuts as your fryer fits, and then they should be golden brown on one side. Just lift them up to check them, because I don't know the exact minutes you got to cook them for. And then flip them. Now if they're too hard to flip with the frying spatula, just use a pair of tongs. Then place them on your paper towel to let the excess oil drain. Then place the donuts onto your cooling rack. Be careful they're not too hot. Then grab your cinnamon erythritol mix and dip the donuts and sprinkle them. Just repeat the same process with the cinnamon donuts as we did the jam donuts. All you need to do is replace the paper towel in your draining plate. Oh, they look exactly like cinnamon donut color. Maybe a bit darker, but they still look pretty good. They're nicely rounded, perfect. Now dip one side into the cinnamon mix. And now you need a food syringe or a piping bag. We have 1 scoop of grape collagen and 1 scoop of chocolate collagen. And we have 100 grams of coconut oil that we need to melt. So once it's melted, we're going to inject the jam donut with grape, and we're going to pour the chocolate topping on the remaining ring donuts. With our coconut oil melted, we add the grape collagen protein and stir vigorously until it's all dissolved. Okay, I took the needle out because the hole wasn't big enough to suck all the liquid. Now the donuts are soft anyway, so they're easily pierced without the needle. So just fill it up and then let it dry. For the ring donuts, we have chocolate collagen protein, 50 grams of monk fruit icing sugar substitute, and we have 50 grams of coconut oil. So we melt that. We have our coconut oil melted, add the sugar, add the Choc collagen protein, and stir until it's all combined. Then pour onto the ring donut. Mine is a little bit runny, so just wait for it to dry a little bit more before you're doing that. Be sure to check out my website for nutrition information on all the ingredients used in this recipe. Thanks for watching, enjoy, and see you again in Mike's Organic Cafe.